Hi, Kori. Hi, Kori. What's the update on Marie-Philippe?
I don't have one yet. She got taken out of the game for precautionary reasons, so I don't have an update for you guys.
Just a quick follow-up on that. The last time she was here, she said she wasn't at 100%. She was playing at 100%. Do you feel like she came back too soon?
No, I mean we trust what our medical team is doing. We trust the organizational decisions, and we'll continue to monitor the situation.
Well, Kori, what's your state of mind with this loss? How do you assess all that?
Yeah, I mean it's hard right after the game, but we'll certainly take a look at it. I mean I'd much prefer this happening now than later on down the road. That's for sure. I'm just reliving the third period. I probably liked about 48 minutes of our game. The 5-minute definitely hurt us. Not saying that it was Maggie's fault at all. Then the coincidental hurt us as well. The fact that we had 2D kind of gone from the game for that amount of time to kill that penalty. I thought we did a great job on the kill. Lots to be proud of in the game. The result certainly wasn't what we had wanted. One-timer from Keller, great shot. We don't get the block. And, 2 missed icings, or 2 missed empty nets to icings. And, maybe we had a little bit more time to make a play in those moments. And then, 14.8 seconds left, and they tie it up. And, and when that happens to you, you're pretty deflated, especially with the lead that you had. And, I thought that, there was an opportunity there in OT to maybe, take away with those 2 points. But, when you're the team coming down from 3-0, you probably are carrying a lot of the momentum in that moment.
What did you see from Boston when they kind of scored their first goal and then their second goal? And what was kind of the speech on the bench of like trying to slow that down a bit?
Yeah, I think, the whole game we were talking about managing our shifts, managing the momentum within our shifts of when to change. Really did not like the first goal against, like as a collective, as a team. Maybe a misplaced puck at the blue line, to not enough numbers back. And then, obviously Anne's arms are outside of the blue paint, so that's why they overturned it, or it was a no goal, and then they overturned that because they said she was outside of the blue paint. Your goalie can't make a save when someone's sitting on top and kneeling on her left shoulder, pinning it to the ground. So, but there's no excuse. Like, we have to back check harder on that play. We have to get that puck into low ice. And, Anne did what she could to try to keep it out.
Just to be sure to understand you clearly, when you say she was out of the paint, you're talking about Anne Renee?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good, thank you.
Yeah, that's what the ref said.
When you see Abby play a game like this, obviously there's playoff intensity, two really good teams. Having the game that she did, being able to move to center on that top line when Marie-Philippe goes down, is this kind of what you expected to see when you made that trade for Abby Roque?
Yeah, I mean, Abby leads a lot of the advanced analytics every single game. And, for her, I think that she would like to see more materialize from that category, because at the end of the day, it is a stat, and you have to be able to put those in the back of the net too. But certainly I thought Abby played a great game. We used her on D at one point too, because we had 2D missing. And she filled in nicely. And she played a hell of a game. I liked what she brought.
What kind of lesson do you think your team can learn from this loss, the way this game was played? Yeah,
that's certainly a conversation that we had after the game of, this is a great learning for us to have now instead of in May. And, we talk about it all the time as a coaching staff, and we ask the players as well, like, when you go into the third period with a lead, there has to be some sort of mindset, not just a game plan that goes along with that. And I don't think we had that mindset going into the third. I think that it's no longer the 2-goal lead is the, trickiest lead in hockey. I think it's the 3-goal lead. Because players, teams start maybe to take their foot off the pedal. I wouldn't say that I saw that in our group fully. I just think when, you allow one and then, you have to kill that penalty and then you're in the 5-on-6, it is tricky, and being a student of the game in the 5-on-6 moments is very crucial. And, that was talked about in the room as well. And, it's something that we also discussed this week. So it hurts when you have 2 goals against in that moment.
How do you look at this loss? Like, what would you identify was maybe the factor? Because, so many things went well during this game. You kill a huge PK and, it's not a lack of producing goals and opportunities. So is it just Boston that's like a stronger team, or how do you look at that?
No, I wouldn't say that Boston is a stronger team. I think that you allow 1 and then you start to give the other team hope. And then you allow 2, and then, they had a 6-on-5 for 3.5, 4 minutes. So we killed a 5-minute penalty, and then we had to kill another 4-minute penalty. So 9 minutes out of the third period, we played shorthanded. And good teams are going to score on those, or they should. And Boston is a good team. So they made us pay, and, that's the way hockey goes sometimes.
How did you feel in the locker room or in your office, whatever, after the second period? Did you feel confident that you could keep that momentum going and protect that lead that you had?
Yeah, for sure. But I had the exact same conversation that going into a third period with a lead, it takes a mentality, it takes another level of drive and grit and fight, and and I think from the other side, they have that as well. So you almost have to match that and then surpass it a little bit. And like I said, I probably liked, the 8 minutes of our third, and then the goal against happened, and then you could kind of feel, everybody was gripping their sticks a little bit tighter and not quite having the details that they once had in the first 48 minutes. And and then the game ends up in that result. Thanks, guys.
Laura, what was the feeling in the locker room after that loss?
Yeah, it sucks. There's obviously a lot of disappointment being up 3, but at the end of the day, we're a team. It's not going to be easy. We know that. We knew we were going up against a good team who fought hard. And I think the messaging, the feeling in the room is let it feel, let it hurt tonight. We regroup. We have another game here on Thursday, and we got to learn from it. We're going to take steps here. We're going to get better, and we know what we're capable of. So I think there's a lot to learn, but there's also some really great things to be proud of tonight.
Follow up to your answer, when you say there's a lot of things to be proud of, what are you thinking about?
Yeah, we're up 3-0 against the first place team in the league. Our power play is clicking. Our penalty killed. We killed a 5-minute major in the third period when it's a 3-1 hockey game. There's a lot of pressure on us, and I think that was a great kill. You felt the energy in the building. I think the physicality, the first 48 minutes of that game, we owned it. The shots on goal, there's a lot of great things. We scored a nice 5-on-5 goal. Hockey doesn't always click perfectly, and I think obviously we got to work on our 5-on-6. We know that. We felt that tonight. But I think special teams, face-offs, getting shots on net, traffic in front. Franco's a great goaltender. To get 3 on her, I think that's something to be proud of. And I think every one of us here knows that we got quite the team in that locker room, a really great group of people. And it's a long season. It's 30 games. We know what we want, we know what we're going after, and it's going to take moments like this that'll help us get there.
Abby, I know that you've been building a relationship with the community in Ganawage over the past few weeks and months. What was it like being able to see so many of them come out today?
Yeah, it was great. Two of the girls came out and did the starting lineup read in the room, which was really cool for them. There's a group still waiting upstairs. I'll run up and say hi after this. But I mean, it's great to see those many faces, and they're excited, they're happy, they just want to see the game, and it's really, I think some of them, like, it's an introduction kind of to like what hockey can bring you kind of thing. Like, they never really think about it, and now it's this professional league that we've built, and it's amazing for them to be able to dream to do something like that if they want to.
You know, on top of everything else, sold out crowd, playoff intensity, is that the kind of game that when you were traded to Montreal that you were looking forward to and getting a chance to play in?
Yeah, I think I was thinking that a lot at the third, especially when you get a 5-minute major that maybe shouldn't be a 5-minute major, but you got to do what you got to do. And I'm sitting there thinking, all right, well, it's good to have these games. Like, it's what I want to play in. It's the intensity. It's great to have, and I think we did a great job of that portion of the game, of controlling it, of trying to kill off that penalty, and that's what's going to happen in the playoffs. It might be a 3-1 game, it might be a 2-2 game, and you have to kill off a 5, a 2. You got to like dig deep, and I did think a lot of girls dug deep today and showed they're willing to put their bodies on the line. They're willing to do what it takes. It didn't go our way, but you can't win every game.
We were talking about that penalty. Were you expecting to play in D today?
No, I was actually just saying right before that when Nicole went to the box for, I don't really know what, went to the box, I go, oh, we're getting low, maybe I'll go back on D, and I was kidding, and then next thing I know, I got tapped, and they were like, you're going on D, and I went, oh, all right, let's do it. But I honestly, playing center most of my career, it's easy to kind of switch back to D. It feels a little uncomfortable backward skating a little bit, but in zone and stuff, it's not too bad, and I was happy to do it.
For Nicole, you know, coming to Montreal, there's a big rivalry, Boston-Montreal. It felt like you kind of embraced the physicality that it comes when you play against this team. So how did you kind of prepare, and what did you know heading into this game? I know you played the first game, but with all the growth you've had, how have you kind of approached this game?
Yeah, I mean, obviously still adjusting. Got a penalty, I guess, but you know, still adjusting to it. But I mean, obviously with the rivalry, but obviously battling for first place, I think that also brings a little bit more into the game. So I think just knowing that we were kind of playing for first place, yeah, it kind of just brings a little bit more momentum into that physicality.
Okay, Abby, how do you handle a game like this? Do you keep it in your mind for a while and then you forget about it, or you kind of forget about it as quickly as possible? How do you handle a game like this?
Yeah, I think there's things to learn from. You go back to the drawing board, you watch video. I mean, for me, like, I like to watch the video the same night, usually, if I can get my hands on it and see my shifts, see what I did right, see what I did wrong. I think as a team, we like to do it too as quickly as possible, because you do have to learn from games like this, but you also do have to let go and think of the positives. Like, there were a lot of positives from this game, and you look at both of those and take the good, try to throw away the bad, and we have a quick turnaround to play on Thursday, so you kind of try to throw it away, you get an off day, and then you come to practice ready to go again.
I don't know. When you lose Prue, Marie in the first period like that, and Abby has to go center, and Dubois was starting on 13 forward, and she has to go on first line, and you're the one talking to the rest the whole time. Like, everybody had to adapt. How did you guys feel when you saw her going to the dressing room, and what can you tell us about the way everybody react?
Yeah, obviously you never like to see your captain and somebody who leads the team go down. Same thing, like Erin's been out for a little bit. We've been battling some adversity here, and I think with that being said, it's pretty awesome to see how this team's coming together, how everybody's picking up the pieces. Nobody's going to replace number 29 out there, and we all know that. But what we can do is do every little thing we possibly can to try and win it as a team together, and I think that's what you saw on the 5-minute major. I think that's what you saw a lot of times in that game in the second, and even late in the third. I know those 5-on-6 goals squeaked in, but everybody was, like Abby said, willing to do what it takes. Blocking shots, getting pucks out. Obviously, we can work on a few things here and there, but when your captain goes down, to see the way the group responded, to see that feeling in the locker room of like, we got this, guys, we can do this. I think that's what you want to feel. That's what you want to feel, that your team not only wants to lift her up, but they also want to do it for her.
Abby, I know it's hard to sort of talk about this with the loss, but like, I mean, it is a huge celebration today for the Indigenous peoples and for yourself. game with playoff atmosphere, as you've been asked as well, the motivation and just for you to be able to contribute the way you did today too, just what is the significance of this game going to be for you, even in spite of the loss?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important to have these games through the PWHL calendar every year. It's important to celebrate the Indigenous people. I mean, for me especially, I think I just love how many Indigenous people come to the game usually on this one, and the different celebrations. I know they do different things during the game. I obviously can't watch it all because I have to play in the game, but it's important, I think, to spread the culture, to just be happy that we have this moment. And for me, it's more about, like, you look around the boards and there's signs for me, and it's little Indigenous kids who just come and they want to come and watch the game and they want to dream. And for me, that's the most important part, is that, like, hey, like, if you play, you work hard, like, you can play here one day if you want. Like, this league will be here for you, and I think it is special and something you try to take in despite the loss.
Nicole, what we see like you've been evolving since the beginning, since you came in the PWHL. You've been having a lot of minutes, not only tonight, but since Aaron got injured. What can you tell us about the way you adapt to the league since you first came?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, each game, just finding my groove, like getting to know my teammates better. I think that helps, just being more comfortable and confident. Obviously, there's a learning and adjusting each game. Each opponent is different. So, but just trying to work on my confidence, I think, is what's helping me.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.